said, okay, markets will turn around. And put in another 12.5 million. So now we're up to 19.5 million. And now they're saying you need to hire a management team. So not that I didn't have a management team, now they want to hire VPs of everything. So then I'm hiring VP of this and VP of that, and spending the money like crazy. Then the market's in 6 months, so we're in the summer. We had a board meeting in July. And they meet and they go, what's your conversion ratio? I said, we just launched the product. I mean, we got to build just within our 500 customers. No. You're not converting as many customers yet. You're not getting as many customers. You can't sustain this. You got to cut back. Okay. You just 2 months ago, you told me to hire people, now you say cut them back. Yeah, where are you going to get the money from? You need to reduce your burn rate. So we did the first cut. Fine, did the first cut. Then they said, okay, now let's look at strategic partnerships. You need to explore strategic relationships, which meant sell the company. Later on, I found out that by this time, my lead investor, who said to me personally that we have chemistry, whose analyst said that this was the best thing since sliced bread, had already plans to shut the company down. He was already talking about that amongst the 3 VCs. And the other 2 were like, no. The United guy was saying, no, we believe in this, let's stick with it. So we come towards the end of 2000, and it's like, we're just not getting any strategic deals. Our revenue is down from the product because we weren't focused on it. Y2K was wrapping up, so sales were down. And I had to cut back more. And what I did at the end of 2000, I go, you know what? So I had to fire Oracle. The Oracle guys were now my employees. Very expensive. So I fired every one of them. And I took 15 of the 25 developers in December of 2000, and we started in Pune. That's what saved the company. If I hadn't done that, we would have been dead, because we would have had no R&D. So I'm going to fast forward. So painfully cut, and they started crunching the stupid money, and finally 9/11 happens. So now the sales take a big dip. There's just chaos everywhere, right? And we are down to our last $200,000, $250. We need the $250 from there. So we have a board meeting and said, my ex-wife used to work for me. She's going to be fired. Well, she's running customer service. You're going to cut this and this and this and this, and it's okay to have bad service. So cut below the bone. And I go, this doesn't make any sense. So we butted heads, right? And long story short, I called up my angels. So great to have good angels and have a great relationship with them, because you never know when you would need them. So I called up this guy, Dr. Kapoor, and because we were dead. We would have, if they didn't give us money, we would have closed doors. So flew up to Chicago in November of 2001, and we basically negotiated a recap of the company. So that I raised about $250,000 in new money from current investors, and these guys took like 40% of the company, down from 80%. So they took a 50% haircut. They took common stock, and took one board seat, and we took majority of the company back. 200 of the 250, I'll pay the attorneys to do the recap. So really net 50.
And then the VCs are written off, or what happens?
No, they're not written off. They own common stock. It took 6 months to do this. So March of 2002, we have a recap. So they took a backseat. So they don't have management control anymore. Right? They don't have board control. They still have a chunk of the shares. I think maybe it was 45%, something like that. So immediately after that, the guy from United, who was also my best friend, is mad that they, blah. So then every meeting was a disaster. I stopped having board meetings because all he would do was complain. Like, when is the exit? When is the exit? And I said, we're barely trying to, we barely just survived. I want to get to cash flow positive, and we have to redevelop the product that we weren't focused on. It's going to take time. So, long story short, we became cash flow positive in 1 year, thanks to Pune. And customers sticking with us. Right? And then the business started, and I decided, purposely decided that I was not going to grow the company aggressively anymore. That we were going to grow by 10 or 15%, we were going to stay profitable, and just reinvest our profits into R&D and improving our customer service. So that lasted for 8 years. And then in 2010, after some back and forth with these VCs, because I kept telling them, I said, just stick around, but their funds had expired. So at 10 years, they got to pay their investors back. And they were not willing to write off their investment. They knew they would get something from me, which is why they stuck around. So they knew they were going to get something from me. So we did a buyback. So we had, and that agreement worked out well, where we said, okay, you get your valuation, I get my valuation, we'll come in the middle. We came in the middle, we had cash in the bank, we struck a 3-year buyout, we paid out a bunch of money. I think they got 10 cents of the dollar, a little more than 10 cents, which was great because the funds were already done. So all this money was just cream on the crop, cream on the milk, right? Just top line. I'm sure the partners got most of it. And in 2000, so the year before last, they were gone. Including some other small investors. One of them was kind of nutsy. I had to hire a security guard with an armed security guard because I thought he was going to come and kill me. So he had aligned with the VCs. So it's very interesting period. But what we bought to now. So now I'm free. I own exactly the amount of company I owned when I took the angel investment. My angel investors are my old investors. They're very supportive. Nobody's knocking on my head to sell the company. We've had a couple of offers of acquisition from one of this partner that was trying to buy me, and someday they will buy me, but I'm not rushing for it. But if they buy me, these guys are going to get 30 times their money. So for being an investor for at least 10 years, they'll get a nice return. And they all know that. And if I don't sell it, I can start paying them, actually next year we're going to start paying them dividends from the profits. We couldn't do dividends because we were buying the shares back. So we're going to do dividends, and we have no debt. We have a pretty stable business, very loyal customers, high recurring revenue, and very little competition. So it's a little engine that keeps running and giving. So I've been able to devote a lot of my time to TiE as a result. And I've been able to so my paying forward has been all of the time that I give to entrepreneurs and also write checks. So I've invested in about 10 companies, and I'm on the board of 4, and I give them the same advice, which is like, if you don't have to take money from VCs, don't take it, And when you have an exit opportunity, exit. If there's money on the table, get out.
So last question, and a slightly tricky one. If you were to do this all over again, how would you do it?
So I picked a very niche market. And I think if I had to do it again, and I give the same advice to other entrepreneurs, if you're trying to raise, so there was a guy who used to, I can't remember his name now. When I was trying to raise money, he was going, why are you raising money then? Why don't you just be profitable? Build a nice $5-6 million business and sell it. I go, no, I have to raise money, I have to raise money, I have to raise money. So if I had to do it again, so I would have been a little more smarter in taking that advice and saying, I picked a niche market, understand your market. Okay. So if you're going to pick a niche, don't assume that you're going to get out of the niche and then go global. Because that's the advice I got from my board members, say, just focus on one